But we had a blast. We kind of just wanted to give you kind of a behind the scenes, look. We talked to the trophy guy. You know how the Stanley Cup, there's like a keeper of the Stanley
sure.
Cup?
Yeah,
well, now
sure.
This is called the Borg Warner Trophy.
Yes.
And it's got the faces of all the drivers who've won over the 100 plus years of the Indy 500. We saw the bricks. It's called the Brickyard. So we got to walk on the bricks. There's like a 3-foot stretch of bricks. It was very historical. The people were lovely. There's this local kid. He's 23. Kid to me. Kid to you.
Yeah.
Same age. David Malukas, car 4. He made qualifications, so he'll be in the Indy 500. This is his 3rd time. He's lovely. We talked to his mom. We've got gobs of stories coming up on GDC all week.
Do you know where he qualified in the field?
He was not the top 12. He got bumped out of the top 12 yesterday.
Okay.
I think.
33 cars.
33 cars. Yeah,
But
he
he's in
was
the field.
7th going in. Listen, we were traveling yesterday when all that was actually going on. So we weren't there last night for the qualifications. But he wasn't in the Fast 6. I know that because then the Fast 6 compete for the pole, and he wasn't that. But he's in it, and he's like dedicated. He had a wrist injury, so so he's better now. But he was just really, it's exciting, like to not have any Indy experience, and then to meet someone and to kind of be like, yeah, that's my guy. Then you get invested, right? That's how people get invested in this stuff. You meet the drivers.
I got to meet one of the drivers years back. Helio Castroneves was his name, and I think he's won it 3 times.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But once you make, because you see them behind the helmets and just in their car with the number on it. But once you meet, and that's some serious skill that it takes too. I mean, it's a 2.5 mile track, correct?
Yeah, and I rode it.
You rode it?
We have to hear about
yes,
this.
you did.
This was astounding. I'm not sure.
How was that?
Do we have videos?
Oh,
we got pace car. Okay, so
says.
the pace car helps keep the
Pace.
Okay, so I got to go in the pace car, not while there were other cars on the track. Clearly, it was just us. That would have been.
Did you have to sign a paper before you? Okay.
Couple.
This is so exciting. This is so exciting.
I don't know. And I was like, are you going to read this to me? Because I don't know. Am I going to get my children back? Like, what is it? Are they going to get their mom back? I don't know. And I did ask when I got in the car, I asked for the guy's driver's license. I'm like, can I just see your driver's license? Because
Good check.
And he goes, which one? I'm like, okay, enough said. So we went top speed 149 miles an hour.
Wow.
Which was.
So you maxed out the pace car?
Maxed. Oh, I'm sure it can go a lot faster than that.
And what kind of car was it?
A Corvette. Don't ask me what year.
Do we have this?
Let's
I
roll
would
tape.
love to see
We
this
can roll
video.
tape.
Okay, video is worth $1 million.
I was just in that car. It's called the pace car. Helps keep the pace on the Indy 500. Cars go like 230 to 240-ish. We just went, I think, I wasn't watching the whole time, I think we went 149 miles an hour. We took 2 laps. I've never been a car person. I think I might become a driver. What do you think? Huh? Thank you, Indy 500. Thank you, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's been awesome.
What is it like seeing that footage right there?
It makes me a little trembly. It really
Were
does.
you shaking in there?
Yeah,
Were you sweating?
I wasn't sweating, but I trying to absorb it, trying to appreciate it, because clearly not everybody gets to do something like that, right? So I was trying not to be terrified, but when you've seen races, whether or not you're into it or whatever, you've seen cars and they get so close to the wall. They do. And I took a video of myself in there and I'm like, I feel like I could touch the wall. I mean, we were so close to the wall. But here's the thing, you guys, 149, at 100 miles an hour more. I cannot wrap my mind.
Wow.
I don't want to show, my kids have seen some clips, but I'm like, I got 2 boys and a girl, and I'm like, none of you are doing this.
Exactly.
I just can't,
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I've heard that it's a whole, you have to be almost in tip-top shape for some of these drivers, and you wouldn't think that because you're just behind the wheel.
Oh, no.
But going that fast?
Yeah.
I mean, your heart rate
for as
goes up,
long as the
you
race
are
is, too.
sweating.
You're sweating. They have so we talked to David Malukas, and I interviewed him, and then I was standing there watching him sign autographs and stuff. I was like, can I ask you one more question? He goes, tell me about this, his suit. So he can plug in his suit, essentially, and it's got like a cooling mechanism.
Oh. Wow.
To which I was like, 2, please.
Yeah, we could use that in the summer here.
Exactly. And he has 14, it's fireproof, of course. Everything, like his socks, he showed me his socks, got real tall socks, and the whole thing, the shoe, everything's fireproof. He's got 14 seconds. If you're on fire.
Oh, you have 14 seconds to get out of the outfit or out of the car?
Yeah, you will survive for 14 seconds.
My goodness. So
and he's like, that doesn't sound like a lot
of
time, but if you're on fire, you're boogieing.
You're boogieing.
I didn't ask about training. I probably should have.
Here, David. I would assume so.
You know, I don't.
Well, not
that. I don't.
Let's time you.
Let's
how fast
try
can
it.
you get this suit off?
In terms of like I don't know, they're not like G forces at that level, but like, what was the scariest moment on the track?
Well,
like,
there was a couple crashes. There were some crashes on Saturday. And I was standing next to a guy who works. He was there on his personal time, but he was there with the Indy Star, which is the local paper. And I said, "Is this normal?" Because there's not. It was they take individual like 4 laps by themselves. Why are you crashing? If you're obviously going so fast, whatever.
Because they're trying to qualify the fastest they can,
yes.
right? Yeah.
And so, but it's not all of them. And you kind of expect maybe that if there's all the cars, on the track. But he said, no, this is kind of abnormal. So that was scary. And it's so loud in there. It's deafening between the crowd and the cars warming up and the cars in the garages and the car. But then when a crash happens,
everyone's quiet.
You could, this quiet. So that's crazy. Also, when I first walked in, I'd been to the Joliet Speedway. I covered the NHRA thing last year, 2 years ago now. And when I first walked in, every time a car would go by, I would go, oh. And my photographer was like, yeah, you're going to have to get over that.
Yeah.
Because I was startled every time, and then I did. And then I feel like now I just hear it in my brain.
It's a really, Gabs, have you been out to a racetrack where you hear that she's
I
describing?
have been to one of the smaller tracks before, not around here, but I have, and it's jarring.
I didn't know you could hear speed. You can hear speed. It's like, that's actually a really good imitation of the noise itself, because I was actually a reporter down in Indianapolis before I came. That was my market before. We were running
all
through,
about it.
Quals and the race itself and the crowds there. I remember the Snake Pit. Does that still exist? That's the infield where the fans go insane.
No, we weren't there for the race. This was qualification.
Yeah,
so
the race
it was still very busy, but it wasn't clearly as busy as it will be on Sunday, and you'll be able to watch that.
It does the speed when you first hear that zing, zing, it does kind of take your breath away.
It does.
And you have to reorient your mind
to
get your mind around just how fast these cars are going.
And when I was looking, we walked in, we got there kind of Friday, late afternoon or early evening, and I walked in, I was looking at the board because they, you can see on the board that, they were doing some practice rounds or whatever. And the numbers was like 231, 232, 233. I was like, what is that number? It took me a long time to figure out that was their speed. And I was like, you are kidding me.
Yeah.
When I think of racing, I think of crazy fans because they're just so into
Die
it.
hard.
Die hard. Was this more exclusive, or were there fans there still, even during those qualifications?
It was very chill, to be honest, because the drivers are the ones I saw anyway, were very gracious with their time. And they're, you can buy a more expensive ticket to get kind of the garage pass where you can get back in the garages, right? And then they just stand and they wait and they ask for autographs. And I don't know if I saw a driver not sign something, it was just so.
That's really sweet.
I don't know if we have time for the merch store. Do we have time for the merch store? Do we have it? Okay, play a little bit. So I went shopping.
Oh,
of course, as you do.
As one does, yes, at the track.
Indy 500. Let's go check out the merch. Let's see what they've got. Huh?
So did you walk out with all of that?
I did not all of it, but I did walk out with a $42 t-shirt.
You have.
When in Rome. Explain the milk reference.
Sure, of course. So the winner drinks milk. For decades now.
I don't know how that got started.
Somebody wanted buttermilk back in the 30s.
I watched that interview that you had.
Yeah. And there's so much in my brain now that I might have deleted that part out of my brain. But there was someone that wanted milk, and so it's just stood. And so the Indiana dairy farmers give them milk.
People don't this race goes back
1909.